Oh, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. So we got the SonicWake 24 on the block. All right. The last video with this boat, well, the last couple of videos with this boat, we changed the stock 50 amp ESC out to the 90. Gave it a test, and it seemed faster. It seemed like it had more punch, and with the prop that I was running, it seemed faster than the 50 amp. So that's a good upgrade, right? In this video, we're actually going to be installing this Marine, SPEKTRUM Marine 2400 kV racing motor. Okay, it's a 3660 2400 kV motor. Now, it may actually be too big for this boat. It fits in this boat, but it may be too big for the actual, well, too heavy for the boat. So we'll see. This is just going to be a fun run, right? Well, fun install. I think the first test, we'll run it on 3N 4S with the 90 amp Marine ESC. It's 90 with a 550 burst. If it don't like that ESC, if we need more amperage, basically, I have this older DYNIMITE ESC here. This is 120 amp. Came in my V1 SonicWake. She's still kicking. I've modified the cooling nipple to a big bore brass tube here, and if we do end up putting it in this boat, we'll probably just put a new connection on here, like a single IC5, so we don't have to deal with this loop, you know. So that's the plan. That's the plan. I've actually been kind of goofing around here. I know when we put this motor in the boat, we're going to need some trim, all right? Because when we put 4S on it the other day, which I had a light pack, she kind of wanted to go airborne on me. So I was kind of messing around here. This stock tab, this flood chamber, and the way they have this in the flood chamber, it's going to kind of hinder what you can put on here, right? But I was messing around with the V2 SonicWake adjuster. Okay, you guys see this? This is the trim tab and its adjuster. It may actually bridge from this hole over to that. See that drain plug hole? We may be able to slightly bore that drain plug hole out, fill it, drill it, and bridge this gap right here, like so. Which that's kind of a big trim tab. So I'm thinking if we do this, I may trim some of this tab up a little bit, just make it a slightly lower profile, because I don't think we're going to, well, I don't know, we'll see, and we might not even use the adjuster, but we do have the adjuster, and it's there if it will fit under the rudder here, right? So I was also, so you got to basically, for a turn fin, you have to have, really need two, you need two holes to hold the turn fin bracket in place. So I was going to use the V2 bracket here and cut this inside hole out and just drill two holes closer together, and I think we can fit the V2 hardware on here basically. You see this? It's going to work, I think. So that's the plan later on. That's my plan. Okay, I got some plans for this boat. I got some plans. So let's go ahead and take this motor out. It should connect right up to the 4mm 90 amp ESC bullets. That's why I'm going to basically leave this in there, because I actually have to change bullets on this, which is no problem. I just don't feel like doing it right now. So let's go ahead and take this motor out and put this sucker right here in. Okay, so I'm breaking this collet loose. 2 screws on the cooled motor mount, and the motor should basically pull right out. Okay, pretty simple there. Boom, boom, boom. Disconnect the water cooling. Pull these wires out. And motor's out. Okay, pretty simple there. Okay, then you got 2 more screws right here. You may need to heat yours up. If you're breaking this loose and the boat's brand new, use a little bit of heat, whether it's a little blowtorch on the screws here or a soldering iron. You're going to have to heat these up, or you're going to strip the screws out. Okay, very important. All right, Now, you're going to need a 5mm to .150 coupler for this modification. This coupler right here will not work with the 3660. Okay? Got your motor and your motor mount. I'll put a link to everything in the description. This is a 5mm to .150 TFL coupler. Okay, definitely got to have that for this motor. Now, this motor is going to be kind of a tight fit here, but it should work. Okay, I've already done it. So you got to move this jacket forward. Okay, you move your jacket forward just in front of those screws there. Make sure no air escapes, water gets out, right? And then your motor should fit in that little notched out gap there. You see that? Okay, so probably need to put the wires on the bottom. If we have them up top, then it's going to be tough to get that tray in. So I usually just get a pair of pliers, put it in these holes up front, and spin this around like so. 3mm and 4mm bolt pattern here. So we got to find the right bolt pattern. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Sorry about my shoddy videoing skills here. Okay. May want to put some Loctite on these. I don't think I am. Guess I need the right damn screwdriver. Okay, so it should look something like this. I'm just going to get these good and tight. Get this turned around. Okay, you see what we got going on here? Okay, now we'll definitely need some Loctite for this guy right here. Put your collet on the flat spot, boom, boom, boom. Loctite. Good and tight, boom, boom, boom. Make sure it's not going to rub on your motor mount. Okay, let's see if it's going to make it. Let's see if we're going to need to cut any of this stuffing tube down. So I'm going to take this grease catch off here. I will say this, you're actually threading into a metal insert, it looks like, right here. These motor bed screws, they got a threaded insert. So that's good to see. Okay, looking good, looking good. Let's get these screws. Okay, so don't tighten these down yet. Kind of cinch them down because you may need to move your motor around to get. Oh, we don't need to do anything. Boom. Boom. Come on. Come on. Okay, so let's just make sure we got alignment. Kind of feels like the jacket is sitting on the hull itself, so that kind of scares me. Because if it is, and we tighten it down here, then it's going to put pressure on the bottom of the boat. It don't feel like it. don't sound like it. Okay, well that's good. So you can go directly to the cooled mount, out the cooled mount, and to the motor, or you can go straight to the motor. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you want to take advantage of the cooled motor mount, that may help water cooling. I don't think you need to, but always good to have extra cooling, right? So it's all plumbed in pretty much. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to pull this ESC. Okay, I'm going to try to pop this little plastic ESC mounts out. Okay, so I pried on one side, took my pliers while I was prying and pulled this thing out. Okay, it's actually stuck in there pretty damn good, so that kind of frees up some room for setup. I also cut out, see this post right here? I cut this post back here out, get it out the way. Well, it's just what I'm doing. You can do yours however you want. Completely up to you, boys and girls. Completely up to you how you want to set up your boat. Does this boat need this ESC and motor? I don't know. Sure is gonna be fun with it in there though. Come on. I want it something like this. Now, I don't know how the hell we're going to get our battery tray in there. Let's check her out with the battery tray. Where the hell is that thing at? Oh, chinga chinga! Might have to cut this loop off. The cool thing about that is I have another one of these. If it don't work, yeah, I can use the other one. Cut that off. Boom. Should be able to get it in. I'm not gonna be able to get it in and out, but oh well. Said I have two of these. Okay, got me a little hole drill. Boom, boom, boom. Need to find a string. Probably be better off with a string. Just gonna do this for the time being, just to show you guys what I'm doing. I got some micro paracord laying around somewhere. Just gotta track it down, so I'll probably end up using that. But just for this video, just for sake of the video, we're gonna use this. Okay. So let's see if this will work. If we got a string in here, right, we can clip it in, and then our string should be hanging out somewhere. And when we need to change the battery out, we just pull it out with that string, right? Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. D-U-N, okay? I got my ESC double side taped in the boat. It actually stuck before I could get it back a little farther, but that'll work. It's out of the way of the battery tray now. The battery, remember when the ESC was on the ESC tray, we had to like finagle the ESC and the battery to get it in. Now it's easy to get to, okay? Hopefully self-riding works, but I've actually shoved a piece of pool noodle in here, put one here. I put a piece of noodle here, I cut it in half, long ways, slid it in here, and I have a piece back there, because we added some weight, right? We lost a little bit of RPM. I mean, look at the size difference in the motors, though. We got more torque. So this is a 2500 kV motor, this is a 2400 kV motor. we should turn more RPM with this one. It's got more torque. With the same prop on, a larger prop, this one will get loaded up, bogged down. This one get loaded up, it won't bog down, right? So we'll get, this motor's gonna be faster. Even though it's slightly reduced RPM, we could turn bigger props for longer, right? Big difference in size here. So pretty excited to test this motor out. The motor shaft is a little bit longer, so I actually had to go out and just grind. I grounded a couple millimeters off the end of my cable, so you're gonna probably have to do that. Yeah, I left it as long as I felt comfortable leaving it, so if I do want to put the stock motor back in, we can. Like if I wanted to sell the boat or something, I can still use this shaft. Okay, so this is my setup. I measured 8 inches from the transom. That's 1/3, which is right here. Okay, 1/3. Our CG is exactly 1/3. That's where you want it. 1/3 right there. And that's where the battery slightly slid back. I modified my battery tray. I put Velcro on my pack. That's going to help keep the battery in place. We cut the tab off. We also cut this lip right here off the battery tray so we can slide our battery back to get our CG right. And I've also, you see this wire right here? It's a stiff wire. Oh boy, I had a piece I was going to show you. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is just a real thin, kind of a stiff wire. You know, it don't bend and hold its shape. It retains its stiffness. And I cut it the width of the tray, and I put it under the 2 outside pieces and on top of the center clip. As you can see, it holds that clip down. Okay, it makes it tough to pull it out, but it actually prevents the tray from flying out the base. Okay, when I put this Velcro on there, and then I Velcroed my battery to the tray, I actually shook the battery like this, and the battery, with the Velcro on it, the battery pulled out the tray rather easily. Okay, so I put this wire in there to retain it. Now I could pull on it. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. So I'm going to pretty much leave this tray in the boat. I'll make sure I have Velcro on my batteries that I run in this thing, and I'm just going to use this one strap. That way I don't have to pull the battery tray in and out, but I can if I want to. I have to use pliers because that wire really stiffened it up, locks it in there. Okay, that's a trick I learned with the Super SonicWake 48. It definitely helps. It helps on this boat and the 48. It also helps in the Blackjack 24 V2 if you're having that tray come out. Put your little piece of wire in there, just like we did here, and you hear it. You can hear it clip in. So she's ready. She's ready. I think I might actually do away with the water cooling on this back motor mount and just straight into the motor, out the motor, into the ESC, because I was blowing into it and it seems like the flow is restricted because we only have one pickup here going into a mount, into the motor, into the ESC, and out the boat. It's slowed down the flow. So I think I might, well, we'll run it. We'll run it like this, and then we'll check temps, and then we may do away with this guy right here. We may actually go in the ESC first, into the motor, and out the boat. We may switch it up because you actually want to cool down your speed control first in a single cooling application. So I'm gonna let you guys go. The video is probably getting long. I have these carbon fiber small fins that we're gonna put on here with the Proboat turn fin bracket. We'll have to slightly modify it, and I don't Well, I know that this will work. I don't know how much modifications we'll need to do to get it to work, but that kind of looks big. I was actually thinking about cutting this in half. Cut this in half right here and make a dual trim tab set out of this single tab, and not use an adjuster, right? Just have the tab on the transom, cut it in half, and we'll have a dual trim tab set, so we can adjust the inside tab and the outside tab, because it's pretty wide and it will be pretty low on the transom. So until they come out with an upgrade kit for this boat, I'm gonna fabricate my own. That's what I like doing, to be honest with you. Putting together my own upgrades for a boat, right? Making my own upgrades. It's fun, you know? So, yeah, I'm excited to test it. CG's perfect. We got flotation. We'll tape it up when we go out. Should be a fast-ass boat now, you know? And then we'll work on all this back here next, okay? So, appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you next time.